and the war goes on. Even the British consulate in this Spanish city feels the effect of shell fire. City after city get the horrid effect of this civil strife. Building after building is torn and destroyed. Streets where once peaceful Spaniards roamed now harbor collapsed structures. Planes soar high overhead, bombing, ever bombing. Planes never let up their rain of heavenly fire, always hurling missives, pouring a leaden rain, destroying, killing. Hospitals are filled to the brim with the wounded and the dying. The slain are merely left on city streets or in the fields. Men, women, children, the weak, the lame, if they cannot fight, they flee. Here an old man toddles along seeking a quiet spot. Even the Uruguayan consulate takes its share of the bombing. Senora Athana, wife of the president, faces a camera for the first time, and in the role of a war nurse. Not so far away, loyalist snipers are in action. The wounded are perpetually carried back for treatment. Here, loyalists are preparing to attack and capture a small number of rebels who hold the hill. In San Sebastian, cars are stopped and searched. There is supposed to be a shortage of water, and the precious liquid is carefully doled. Tolosa, deserted after an attack. Once a beautiful city swarming with peace-loving Spaniards, now a picture of desolation and ruin. In France, a mystery plane drops out of the skies, and immediately there is word that it was on its way to Spain. Whether it was or whether it was not is still a mystery. On another front, loyalists are moving into position in preparation for an important attack. artillery goes into action to support its infantry. Alcazar, where more than 1,000 cadets revolted and locked themselves in, fighting to death. San Sebastian, taken by the rebels practically without fire. In a moment, you will see one of the most amazing sights ever presented on a screen. Machine guns spit lead, and not until the last man is still do they halt. Here is a lovely picture to show those who advocate war. In another sector, the rebels mass and leave for the front. Perfectly trained troops prepared to do any kind of combat. Leftists too prepare to go. Here is the manner in which they leave, the clenched fist being their salute. While rebel officers talk over the situation and plan ahead, the men who do the actual work take a few brief moments for rest. French athletes who visited the Workers' Olympiad in Barcelona arrive safely home, and maybe they are not happy to be there. Members of the clergy leave their parishes for peace. Loyal submarines whose sailors revolted, subdued their officers and took over the ships, prepared to move against rebel-held Moroccan territory. While in Gibraltar, English protection is offered to fugitives. Children, men, women, all seem a bit happier in spite of the fact that they no longer have a permanent home. On the southern front, hospitals are destroyed, bridges are ruined. Here is a scene at the battlefield. The youth of Spain from the north, east, south, and west go forth to spill the life's blood of their brother Spaniards. After a fierce exchange of shots, soldiers come back for more ammunition. Planes continue to fly overhead, still carrying on their mission, a mission of certain death and death only. Railroad tracks are severed, and ironically enough, a careful inspection is made to make positive of the job. Cars are stopped everywhere, and credentials must be shown. Here is an American cameraman. Mines are laid on this bridge, for who can tell when these soldiers will be forced to blow it to bits. And while there is war, there must be wounded. A decisive battle is about to take place, and here are the rebels taking it easy before they go to work. Loyalists run for advantageous positions, and in a few moments the battle is on. Cameramen set their cameras right in the thick of this battle so that these scenes might be brought back to you. Loyalists moved in trucks up to Irun. On the other hand, however, the hill folk Loyalists used oxen, the ancient method of travel through these very difficult and almost impassable hills of Spain. Rain, mild Spanish rain, but these men of war carry on. Irun, the last hole through which refugees were able to escape to France, is under rebel fire. Seville. And if the damage done by shells and bombs was not enough, private autos are burned. In Burgos, Loyalists hold the hill. Rebel troops endeavor to use that hill as an observation post, so they may engage in a skirmish. But this battle develops into sort of a hand-to-hand tussle, and the unfortunate surrender and are marched back to headquarters at the point of a bayonet. There is no out for these lads but a certain death. Trenches are dug everywhere, for while some fight, others must provide some sort of defense. Leftists in barges ship supplies to their brothers who are busy fighting. While the last concentrated attack is made on Irun, a few last refugees slip through to France and safety. More troops are rushed to aid in the attack on Irun. Hours later, this last haven was captured by the rebels and closed. From France, Spaniards see their beloved homeland aflame. War, ruthless, bloody war. A civil war, always more bitter than just war, is inflicted on poor unfortunates. Women and children torn from their loved ones in happy homes to find haven where their wretched souls may again be at peace. For such is the way of the world. Men in brilliant uniforms plot and plan. Newer, faster, better methods to kill brother man. Nations pitted against nations in a mad race to nowhere. While in Italy, the Holy Father, spiritual leader of all Catholics, blesses his subjects and asks the Almighty that some sure solution be sent to halt forever this wanton waste of human